Hi guys, straight into it this week. I've got a lot of work to do and not a lot of time, so the videos over the next couple of weeks might be all over the place, but you'll get them eventually. I just haven't got time to edit the videos, work and finish this thing by the time it goes for paint. So for the next couple of weeks, we're going to be looking at the front RS wings to make sure that they're not full of rust and dents and all this sort of stuff. But, you know, it came off a Ford. So in a previous life, its purpose was to rust. So we're starting off this week just by cleaning up the front RS wings, taking all the surface rust off and cleaning it up with a fancy, I think it's called an Abrax disc. Takes all the paint off, doesn't damage any of the metal, and also put in some paint stripper and well, just basically cleaning them up so I can assess the damage. Anyway, enjoy the music, be back in a bit. Right, so as you've just seen, I've cleaned up these two front wings, and, well, I feel like crying, to be honest. Starting with the driver's side one, we have rust here and a hole there. I'm replacing the whole bottom pieces because these have been remade before anyway. You can kind of see the join there and there, so these have been repaired before. I think I'm just going to buy new and weld them on, and what I can do then is sort of cut it along here somewhere and have a full, you know, non-rusty, non-pre-made, factory pressed piece on the bottom of this one. So yeah, we've got rust here. I knew that we had a problem here anyway because it's missing the lip. Then as we go on, we've also got a split in the lip there. That's not a problem, we can just weld that back up. Then we've got another split up here, which we'll come to when I turn this over, but as you can kind of see here, there's a lump there. So this has obviously been dinged before, but when I turn it over, you'll be able to see that it was literally just full of filler, and I kind of got a thing against filler. And then in the corner here, rust again. I think this has gone through this side because there's my finger right about here. Where is it? Oh, no, there it is. Green finger, big hole. Likewise, all up here, it's just surface rust, but there's also a hole here. So we're going to have to repair in here, repair here, and well, we'll come to that in a second, and then cut this off and replace that. The other one, I thought my welding was bad. There's just a whole bunch of snot there from someone's previous welding. Likewise, missing a bit there anyway, but that wasn't a problem. This one was pretty good all the way through, up until this corner again, but much better than the other side. There's actually no holes in the corner here, so we can just put some rust treatment on there and all along here to fix it. There is a missing tab here. I'm not 100% sure what for. Probably the inner arch liner, which I haven't got anyway, and I'm probably not going to buy, so I might not replace that. This wing itself might actually be a bit of a winner, even though we're going to be replacing the bottom bit as well. So what I need to do is find 2 focus wings that I can butcher the bottom bits back onto here. So that's that. Next, the other side. So let's flip this over. This is the problem one. So starting down here, there's the hole that you can see through, but obviously it's had some, when they welded this bottom bit on, it's had some sort of blow through before, so there's a bunch of holes here. So like I said, what I'm going to do, when I replace the bottom, I'll cut, I don't know, along that diagonal or something to and make it fit. Then as we come up here, it's had a ding previously. So it's dinged into something and they just filled it full of paint stripper. Filled it full of filler, and I don't know why, when you can actually get that behind it and straighten it out. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get a hammer behind it, put a dolly on it, and hopefully straighten that up. Because I don't know if you can see, there's multiple layers of filler on this. I don't know why, but not great. And then you can see the holes there on the front and there further on. Again, this wing is more filler than metal. I think I was starting to get worried that that it was actually an ST wing that had been filled out. Not really. Anyway, the other one. Let's flip this one over. Oh, this one. Not too bad. Again, down here needs some work, but we'll just cut across there. No major damage, much less filler on this one. In fact, hardly any filler at all, only a bit down here. Although that may even be primer, high build primer. And then over in this corner, we're all good. We've got some, at least the paint stripper's working on here. So yeah, as far as the driver's side one is concerned, I do feel like crying a little bit. It's a lot more work than I wanted to, and as of the time I'm filming this, it's likely this car is going for paint in, well, less than 2 weeks, and I need to find some decent wings, cut the bits off, put them on. It's just a lot of work. I'm not very happy, but hopefully if I fix all the bits that I can do, then there's not going to be so much filler on them, and the painter can make it look good, because that's all that matters at the end of the day, innit? And make sure it doesn't rust again. Well, I was worried about that, and I probably shouldn't have been. I mean, it's not perfect, but at least it's now flat, and it just means that this wing has a little bit less filler in it. So you can kind of see in the light where it was. It was along here. Still need to weld up the crack in the wing, but you can see where it was, and I can tell you that it is now quite flat, even though it doesn't look it. And it's all going to need some filler anyway. It just, you know, not so thick in this place now. No big old dent in it. So next, I'm probably going to be cutting out this bit here, because on the other side, even though I've cleaned it all up, it's there's still a lot of rust. Same here. Don't know what I'm going to do here, but let's do one bit at a time, is it? So I'm going to cut this out, replace it with some good metal. I've got some remedial work here to do, and there's another bit to weld. There's a crack there to weld. It's looking much better now it's all cleaned up. These ends, I don't know what I'm going to do with those ends. Probably going to make new ones. I don't want to, but it's a Ford. It's rusted. And there you go. You can barely tell that there was anything wrong with it. Unless I point it out to you, of course. Right there. But it's quite smooth. All good. Next, I think I'm going to cut this piece of rust out. And what I'm probably going to do is, let's have a look underneath. Oh. So I need to cut this bit of rust out. I might use some of the old wings. So that bit right there of the old wing, or the non-RS wings, to fill this up. And I don't know what I'll do here. I might be able to do the same up here. I don't know though, because I was an idiot and I cut those other wings. We'll see what I've got anyway. Okay, well that's about 4 hours and one bad neck worth of work, and I hate how good it looks because that only means I'm doing this way too much. So I replaced the edge piece here that was full of rust on the back with a piece from the one of the old wings, one of the ST wings. Turns out it's actually a different shape, so I had to mess about with it a little bit. And same goes to the front here, but there's now no rust on the front of this wing. It's still slightly misshapen, but I don't know. At least there's only going to be a little bit of filler in it now instead of a lot of filler. There's two spots on this wing that I really don't understand. One is the one that we done earlier. The other one is this down the corner. It's been filled, just like that was, filled over a dent, where access to behind is very easy to get to. So I don't know why they didn't just tap it out like I did and use less filler. Unless it was just one of these cheap sort of back alley paint booths or something. Which kind of makes sense considering how much filler is actually on this wing. Either way, hopefully now there'll be less filler on it when the guy who's doing my paint ends up done with it. Fingers crossed. Anyway, next, I don't know if it's going to be in this episode or not. I have marked out where I need to cut. I've got to cut out along this line because I need to replace all of this down here. I guess I was right. I'm not going to put all this into one episode. It's far too much work for one episode. And I'm trying to split these into smaller chunks for you guys to digest. Hopefully it'll help the channel grow. What does help this channel grow is if you give the video a like. Leave me a comment down below. Tell me how bad I'm doing. Tell me how good I'm doing. Whatever. I chat with everybody down there. It's good fun. Come and join the live streams. You get to see these episodes decondensed into 4 hour long, I don't know, milling around the garage, hanging out, and we have a laugh. And then you can also go onto the social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, follow Jaff Builds on there, and you can see the bits in between the videos as well. If you fancy supporting the channel, we've also got a Patreon. That's over at patreon.com/jaffbuilds. Go over there, come and support us, and it helps me buy stuff like new lights for the garage. It all helps, and make sure that you get better and better content as I hopefully get better and better. Anyway, don't miss next week's episode. We're going to finish these wings off. Subscribe to the channel and click the bell icon so you don't miss it. And until then, ciao. All of this down here.